Sign Fairy channel. I'm super glad that you're here. Well, I don't know what to say. But what I can tell you is I gotta be a little extra quiet. Because I'm in the Sign Fairy Palace right now. I'm hanging out with my US cutter, which is this guy right here. And then we just got done making some letters for a display we're doing tonight using a camping theme, which we're super excited about. What I wanted to do is I wanted to make a follow-up part 2 video on the Vinyl 101 video that you can watch by clicking right here about where I am at now after I've made the purchase of the US cutter. What I like about it, what I've enjoyed about it, what are some of the things that I've learned, and share with you some feedback on my purchasing process with this US cutter bundle. Let me start off by saying that I was compelled to do this video primarily because there's a woman named Kathy Alford who's a member of our private Facebook group and subscribes to our channel. Thank you, Kathy. I'm glad you're watching. And she's been asking me a lot of questions, and it's wonderful. And she's been struggling like I did when I purchased my US cutter. Now, full disclosure, I have a Mac. I have a MacBook Air. It's not a newer one. It's about 3 years old. And one of my biggest concerns about purchasing a US cutter was whether or not I could use software that was compatible with Mac. In a lot of their advertisements, US cutter talks about having compatible software, and they default by saying that you know it's a Windows based. They don't say that, but they imply that. And if you're not doing your research and due diligence, you could, kind of end up at the short end of the stick if you end up buying it and then you have a Mac and you don't get the Mac version. So I want to share with you that the process of setting up the software that I got with my bundle was painstaking, and it didn't make any sense to me. And as far as I'm concerned, US cutter does not do a good job helping people get acclimated to how to use their software. The software, I believe, is not a US cutter brand software. It's completely different. So the support that they provide is ambiguous, and the support that you get for US cutter, for the Cuts Alot Pro, is like every other support. Send an email, we'll get back to you in 48, 72 hours, which I think is just brutal. But one of the challenges, the biggest challenge that I faced when I purchased my US cutter was activating my Cuts Alot Pro version. Now, this is where it gets a little even more complicated. So when I purchased my bundle, you get sort of like a pin, like if you're gonna buy an Xbox gift card, you get a pin, a gift card that you put in to activate your license, right? Because you paid for it already in a bundle. And I downloaded Cuts Alot Pro 5. It's the latest version. I just figured that that would be the software that they use. And in the process of trying to activate it, it never activated. So I got frustrated, and I tried to figure out why. And I emailed them, and I never heard back from them. And then after realizing that I downloaded Cuts Alot 5, in the fine print that I didn't fully read, it says it works with Cuts Alot Pro 4. So I downloaded version 4, and then it worked. But I couldn't still activate it, and I actually had to reach out to them, and they had to tell me what to do in order to activate it. So if you're going through this challenge and you have a Mac and you've bought this US cutter and you've downloaded Cuts Alot Pro 5, remove it from your computer, get Cuts Alot Pro 4 before you do anything, and then activate your license, and then use the codes that they give you to activate your license so you can get access to it. Because you can get access to it, but they cut it out. They won't let you do any cutting on it until it's an activated license. So I wanted to make sure that everybody understood that. this is really going to be a part 2 video of my Vinyl 101 video, which, believe it or not, is getting a lot of traction. It's the 3rd biggest viewed video that I have on my arsenal of videos. And I think that's pretty interesting, to be honest with you. It's crazy figuring out what people like and what people don't like. But what I wanted to talk about is what I learned over the course of the last, I don't know, call it 6 weeks. And I want to talk about what I like most about this US cutter, now that everything is in place. So let me just say this to you. I have not ever worked on a silhouette machine or a Cricut machine. I don't know how they work. I don't know how they're different. I know that there's a mat and some people get frustrated with it. I haven't had to deal with any of that. I just basically went for it. I bought the plotter. I figured that I could probably figure it out, and I did, and it's been working for me. And to be candid, I absolutely love it. I love it because of what it does for me, and it allows me to elevate my creativity when it comes to making our celebration displays. And I can get fonts and download fonts, put them into my Mac if you know how to do that, and then they automatically upload into Cuts Alot, which is a seamless process, and you can start cutting. And it's really wonderful, really it is. And it's simple. And what I'm gonna do is I have it open right now, and I'm just gonna show you how simple it is, all right? So let me just turn this thing around so that you can see for yourself, and then we'll get going, all right? So I'm gonna leave it up like this. This is your desktop, or this is gonna be a 4x8. See, if you look over here, it's a 4x8 workspace, okay? So because I have a 28-inch plotter and the vinyl that I'm buying is only 24 inches long, I have to stay within this window. All right, I don't want to go outside 24 inches because if I do, I'm going to cut outside the lines and there's not going to be any vinyl there. But let's say, for example, I wanted to print a letter, KG. Let's do the Luckiest Guy font. So when you open up the library, which is what this is, you click on fonts. All right, and I'm going to go down to, actually, I'll just go to KG because it's easier. All right, there it is. Okay, where'd you go? There it is. So when I click on that, now it's going to default to all of the KG fonts that I can choose from. And it's as simple as click and go. All right, so now what I can do is if I want to click and print an A, I click on A. Now what will happen is you'll notice up here in the upper left-hand corner, if you can see that right there, all right, it's moved the letter that I selected into an area that I can move around within my workspace, all right? And typically what I do is I come over to this button over here. This is like a movement button, okay? There it is. And what I do is I put in the height of what I want. So I simply come over here, I want to make a 20-inch letter. I want it to be proportioned, okay? And then I click, then I just hit return, all right? Bang. And then it posts itself up, all right? This is the button that I have to use in order to move it around. This is the button that I can use to turn it left or right, all right? And I'm just gonna undo so I can get it back there. But what I'll do is I will move this in the ideal location that I want it printed, all right? And then I will simply, this already comes with, it's contoured, so it's already contoured, so I don't have to contour it, which is a good thing. Then I just press cut, and it cuts it. And then when you're done cutting it, hold on. When you're done cutting it, then you weed it. And if you haven't done that, or you don't know what that's like, you gotta watch the Vinyl 101 video. Because it's not hard, it's just a process. So the software in and of itself, Cuts Alot Pro 4 in this case, is very simple. if you like the iPhone and if you like the Mac OS because you feel that it's simple and it's intuitive and a kindergarten can understand it, you're gonna like Cuts Alot Pro 4. Okay, there's a lot of other things that Cuts Alot Pro 4 does that I am not privy to. I am not trying to. The creative software like Cuts Alot Pro for plotters and Adobe Illustrator and Corel Draw. Corel Draw is the easiest of the programs, but it's like learning a whole new language. It is daunting. And I have spent literally over the last 3 weeks getting myself acclimated with Corel Draw, but I'm not gonna get into that. What I wanted to make sure here is to tell you that if you're gonna buy a US cutter, if you're gonna get a plotter and you have a Mac, Cuts Alot Pro will make this process super simple, okay? I've made so many letters using these devices that I absolutely would highly recommend doing it. Because it opens up the door for you to be as creative as you want. Now, one of the things that you also get with the US cutter is that you get a assortment of vinyl, all right? Now there's all different types of vinyl, okay? If you're not familiar with what kind of vinyl that you should get, you wanna get outdoor calendared vinyl. If you wanna know what calendared means, I can't explain it to you. I don't really honestly know. All I know is it's outdoor and that's what you want. You want an outdoor vinyl. And what I have found is the, what's the name of it? The Green Star vinyl, which is not a US cutter vinyl. It's Green Star. You can buy it at US cutter. I have found that that vinyl is the easiest to use in the US cutter. Now there's another type of vinyl which is called, is it Orafal? O-R-A-F-A-L. Now, one of the things that you'll learn when you're working with vinyl is that, you know, there's all different types of vinyl. And because there's all different types of vinyls, there's gonna be different pressure points and different ways that you have to get an understanding on how your plotter works, okay? So when you set up your knife on your plotter, you'll understand what this all means. And what I can tell you is that the Green Star vinyl that came with the US cutter is far more easier to use than the Orafal. The Orafal, based on the pressure that I have right now, has a tendency to cut into the backing of the vinyl, and when you remove it to apply it to your actual coroplast, it becomes more of an arduous process because you got to get out certain tools to make sure that everything falls off. And it adds more time to your process. So the other dynamic too that you want to also be aware of is that the colors for Orafal and Green Star are different. Now we found that out the hard way. So a teal color for Green Star is not going to be the same teal color for Orafal. And so, you know, we learned that the hard way. And they are roughly right around the same price. And I prefer the Green Star. But I would recommend to anyone that if you're gonna get the US cutter, it's gonna come with the Green Star vinyl, because that's what it comes with, to stick with that. Yeah, it might be a little bit more expensive than the Orafal, but by $1 more, a yard or whatever it happens to be. And it will provide you an easier application process. And I can also tell you my settings to help during that process. But in short, what I've learned the most about this entire process is that there is a process to cutting your vinyl, and then there is a process that's associated with putting it on a piece of coroplast. So really how it works is You get your vinyl, you put it into your machine, you select the letter that you want to print, and you cut it. Okay? You cut it out of your machine, all right, you cut it off, you're gonna have a lot of waste. From there, you weed it, and then you get it prepped. And if you wanna know what this whole process looks like, I'll give you a link to the other video that I did that will point you to how you do that. Then you weed it, you apply transfer tape to it, which can be, there's a learning curve there, a big learning curve. You'll be surprised how many air bubbles and how quickly you can screw up that process very fast. So then you get transfer tape. The transfer tape that I use is bright light transfer tape. And I purchased that at Grimco.com. That's Grimco.com. And you can set up a business account there. They even deliver to your house, which I haven't done yet, but it's easy. And their customer service is great. And you can buy all kinds of razor knives there and everything that you need at Grimco. They're basically sort of like a Lowe's home improvement for the sign world. They have everything. And I've enjoyed working with them. A lot, actually. The other thing too is that, the other thing too is that once you get your transfer tape and you put your vinyl on the transfer tape, you're gonna take the plastic that you use and you're gonna lay it on your table, and then you're gonna lay your vinyl over it. And then you're gonna pull that off and you're gonna put it on the plastic corrugated. So now you'll have your square piece of corrugated, and then you'll use a razor knife and cut it out. And I have other videos on that as well. I've done a couple more videos, and I'll put a link to how to cut vinyl right here so that you can see how that works. Because there is a method to it, and you want to be cognizant of how that works. And then you cut it out, and that's the process. So once you understand that process, and you understand how it works, and you get yourself familiar with how and what you need to do, it's a routine. It's just a routine, like anything else, like mowing the lawn. And the more you do it, and the more you make letters, the better you're gonna be. And I wanna be the best at it. So we make a lot of letters, and we do a lot of stuff to supplement our current inventory. And you know by previous videos how big our inventory is. And this is a way for you to be different. I believe, and I share this all the time, that this is our competitive advantage, being an independent yard sign celebration company, all right? Going up against franchises, you know, look, they're a formidable competitor. And if they have money to spend, they're gonna get a big inventory. But the downside to what they do, and you can watch many other videos that I have about this, is that they have to buy all their stuff from one place, and they buy it, they don't make it. So if you want to get speed to market, and when you think about organizations that do that, Google, Apple, Amazon, you know, Microsoft, first to market wins. And if you can be first to market with the new font that you've created, you're going to get the first order from everybody, because everybody wants the new and trendy stuff. So I believe that the US Cutter has given me a competitive advantage because it allows me to keep my costs down. It allows me to make my own letters and allow me to be more creative than I have been. And I have to wait for things that I may have purchased from other companies like Victory Store and whatnot. And I don't want to be kind of their process. I just don't. I want to be in charge of my own destiny here. And this allows me to do that. And the last thing that I'll add is, once you go through the process of going and applying vinyl to Coroplast, it will default by opening you up to a whole nother world that we haven't even talked about yet, which is printed vinyl using eco-solvents that make really detailed prints. Now, I'm trying to see if I can show you. That's on Coroplast. So in any event, yeah, you're gonna have to wait.
All right, do you have your car keys? Because I want to see if Mom can. No, she can't. She has to go to Quad.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait 5 minutes, dude. So sorry about that. My kid tells me he wants to leave at 3:30. It's 3:30. He's not here. I'm gonna get other stuff done. I'm not waiting for you. It's just how it works. All right, but what you'll be able to do is now, if there's somebody within our Facebook group, or if there's somebody that you know that is selling artwork, now you can purchase artwork. You can take that artwork and either go to a local store, or you could go to the signfairy.net website, and even our sponsors, and you could have somebody print it for you. And they'll send you a tube of your printed vinyl in here, and then you pull it out and you go through the same process that you would normally go through with the vinyl. The only difference is the vinyl that you have now is outdoor vinyl, and it's a lot perkier. It's the equivalent of printing on plastic, but you lay it on with vinyl. All right, that's the key difference. Now I've done a lot of talking here, and that's okay, because I don't do a lot of videos like this, but I wanted to get the word out because it's important. So if you are a subscriber to my channel, I want to say thank you. I really appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I would like to ask you to please subscribe, because we have more epic content coming. Excuse me. And if you've liked this video, please like it. The other thing that you need to consider too is that if you're not a member of our Sign Fairies, Make Your Own Plastic Letters and Yard Decorations private Facebook group, you should be. We have over 1,600 members there, and we're helping people like you who are entrepreneurs be more creative, and we're giving you access to approved vendors that I have connected with and that I have talked to and that I believe provide the same amount of customer service that I would to my clients. Those two approved vendors are lawncandysupply.com. The affiliate link will be in the description, and the other one is signwayonline.net. And they are two great organizations. If instead of going to Victory Store or Yard Card Depot or Yard Card Supply, if you wanted to go to either one of those organizations, I would be grateful for it. The Signway online.net, Alizar and Mindy, they live in Texas. They're a small business just like you and I, and they support my channel, and I want to support them in return. Along with David up at lawncandysupply.com. He's up in Canada. He's got a great product. I think it's one of the best on the market today that you can also access. The other thing that you can do is that if you wanted to get printed vinyl sent to you, you can go to signfairies.net and you can see the themes that we're currently offering now. And if you're looking to purchase any Sign Fairy merchandise that will help me get more cameras and more things like this, I would be great. You can do that too there at signfairies.net as well. And if you're looking to rent a sign, you can do that at the same website, signfairies.net. So in closing, just know this: I'm grateful and I appreciate everybody being a member here, and I want to thank you for that. And in the meantime, get out there, get creative, make it happen. I appreciate you very much. You do know I'm in the middle of making a video, right? Yeah. Okay. Did you want to come in and you want to be on it? Is that why? All right, well then come over here and say hi.
Hello, everybody.
Aiden, are you waiting for me to take you to go get your...
Getting a thing to get rid of my mustache.
And I also built a finger.
Yeah, you did. It's incredible. What are you doing?
You know my Puerto Rican...